Trump, without TV coverage, is like a plant without sunshine, soil, and water, all of it. So he's going to continue to make a bid for our attention. He's going to maybe still be a good economic thing for the media, but we have to, at this point, say what is the public interest of continuing to keep our cameras on him and to keep writing about him, especially when he's trying to be so disruptive to and undermining of democracy itself. You go back to the other vanquished presidential candidates, and there wasn't the same incentive for the media, the same economic incentive to keep covering them. But it was also fed by the fact that he was great ratings. I use ratings to encompass TV and newspapers. After November 8th, we lose our rationale, that we can focus on him this much because he's in contention, as I said in the column, for the biggest job in the world. And I'm a little bit nervous that the media won't quit him as thoroughly or as soon as it should.
But look, I do think he goes on to become a major force in the party. He could have his own TV network, but he will lead the Breitbart side of the party. I'm not sure we can afford to ignore that or what it's going to do to national politics for the next 4 or 8 years.
I think there's a lot of self-introspection and questions that need to be asked within the media. I mean, we kind of are we're due for our own autopsy report in a way, and I think you're absolutely right. There was a lot of difficulty in struggling, my outlet certainly among them, in figuring out just what to do with Donald Trump early on and trying to understand what the appeal was all about. And I think as we go forward, we're going to have to figure out why we missed the story early on. I think the best parallel for what Frank is talking about, Frank, correct me if I'm wrong here, is probably Sarah Palin. After 2008, where she did go off and started doing her own media ventures. She had her own reality show. She was a Fox News commentator, if I'm remembering correctly. And you had to grapple with how much of it, what she was doing was just for her own enrichment, for her own political entertainment value, and how much of it actually mattered from a political perspective. And gradually, we sort of lost interest in Sarah Palin, but she never fully went away. I don't know if Trump's going to be the same phenomenon as that, but maybe I'm wrong.
There's one difference. Sarah Palin didn't emerge from the campaign. There was still great interest in her. She didn't have Steve Bannon by her side. She didn't have. Donald Trump has set up a situation where he has a whole media apparatus around him. So if he wants to make a sustained bid for public attention, he has a potential reach that Sarah Palin never had.
Yeah.